Imagine a beautiful five-bedroom house in a quiet suburban neighborhood. A luxury car sits in the driveway under the warm evening sun. Inside, a successful professional sits at a mahogany desk. On paper, this person is winning the game of life. Their salary is over $250,000 a year, yet their heart is pounding as they stare at their bank balance. It is nearly zero. Again, this is not a story about a lack of income. This is a story about the silent crisis of the successful. According to recent reports from Lending Club, 36% of high earners in the United States live paycheck to paycheck. These are doctors, lawyers, and corporate executives. They're the very people we were told to look up to. They are trapped in what economists call the golden cage. They have reached the top of the mountain only to find they cannot afford the view. Why does earning more money often lead to having less of it? Why does a six-figure salary feel like a financial suffocation? The answer is not found in a spreadsheet or a budget. The answer is buried deep within the human brain and the social structures we build. We have been taught that a higher income equals more freedom. But for millions of professionals, the opposite has become true. Each promotion has become a heavier link in a chain of debt. Let us look at the first mechanism of this trap. It is called the architecture of fixed costs. When you start your career, your expenses are flexible. You can live in a smaller apartment or skip a vacation. But as your income grows, your life becomes rigid. You buy a house in a prestigious zip code because it is what people like you do. That house comes with a massive mortgage and high property taxes. It requires expensive maintenance and premium insurance. Then you buy a premium car with a monthly payment that matches a small mortgage. Suddenly, 60 or 70% of your income is gone before you even wake up. These are not choices you can change easily. You cannot just decide to stop paying your mortgage next month. You are locked into a high-cost lifestyle that demands a high-intensity job. This is where the cage starts to close. You work harder to pay for the house that you are too busy to enjoy. But there is a deeper, more invisible force at work here. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation. It is the biological tendency of humans to return to a stable level of happiness. When you get that big raise, you feel a rush of dopamine. You buy the luxury watch or the designer suit you always wanted. For a few weeks, you feel like you have finally arrived. But then, the newness wears off. The luxury watch becomes just a watch. The five-star hotel becomes your new standard for travel. Your brain adjusts to this new level of comfort. What was once a luxury becomes a baseline necessity. You no longer feel rich because you have forgotten what it felt like to have less. To feel that same rush of success again, you must spend even more. It is like running on a treadmill that keeps getting faster. If you stop running, you fall off. This creates a psychological state where you are always chasing the next level. But the next level always brings more expenses and more stress. Consider also the hidden trap of convenience. As you earn more, your time becomes your most precious resource. To save time, you start outsourcing every part of your life. You pay for premium grocery delivery and daily meal services. You hire house cleaners, landscapers, and personal assistants. At first, these feel like smart investments in your productivity, but slowly they become invisible leaks in your financial bucket. You forget how to perform basic tasks for yourself. You become dependent on a high burn rate just to function every day. This is the hidden tax of being busy. Now consider the social pressure of status signaling. In the professional world, your spending is often seen as a proxy for your skill. If you are a top attorney, you are expected to look the part. You feel the pressure to live in the same neighborhood as your partners. You feel the pressure to send your children to the same private schools. If you do not, you fear that people will think you are struggling. You are not just buying a car, you are buying a ticket to a social club. You are buying the right to belong to a specific tribe. This is what sociologists call the Diderot effect. Buying one new thing creates a spiral of consumption that leads to more purchases. A new suit requires new shoes. A new house requires new furniture that matches the architecture. We spend money we do not have to buy things we do not need. And we do it to impress people we do not even like. This is the peak of the golden cage. Your identity is now tied to your consumption. You begin to suffer from identity inflation. You believe that you are the house you live in and the car you drive. If you cut back, you feel like you are losing your status. You feel like you are failing in the eyes of your peers. But the truth is that your peers are likely feeling the exact same pressure. They are also staring at their bank accounts in the middle of the night. They are also wondering how they got so far ahead and ended up so far behind. The math of 2025 is unforgiving. Inflation and the rising cost of services have squeezed the middle class. But the high earner is squeezed in a different way. The cost of being elite has grown faster than most salaries. Private education, premium healthcare, and urban housing have skyrocketed. $100,000 today does not buy what it did 30 years ago. In many major cities, a six-figure income is now considered just enough to get by. The dream of the comfortable upper middle class is being rewritten by rising taxes and insurance. High earners often face the highest marginal tax rates. After federal, state, and local taxes, your $250,000 looks very different. Then you add the cost of professional liability insurance and high-limit umbrellas. You are playing a game where the rules are designed to keep you spending. So, how do we break the lock on the golden cage? It begins with a radical audit of the ego. We must learn to decouple our self-worth from our net cash flow. True wealth is the difference between your income and your ego. It is not about how much you make. It is about how much you keep. And more importantly, it is about what that money allows you to do. You must perform a ruthless, fixed cost analysis. Look at every recurring payment that you have signed up for. Ask yourself if this expense truly adds value to your life or just maintains an image. If your income stopped tomorrow, how many months of your current life could you afford? Most high earners can only survive for 2 or 3 months. That is not success. That is a high-speed collision waiting to happen. To find freedom, you must be willing to lose face. You must be willing to live below your means, even when you can afford more. This is the ultimate power move in 2025. It is the ability to say no to the expectations of your social circle. You must choose to invest in assets that buy you time, not toys that take it away. Financial independence is the ability to say no to a job you hate. It is the ability to walk away from the treadmill without falling. But you cannot do that if you are paying for a lifestyle you do not even enjoy. Take a hard look at your convenient spending this week. Try doing one task yourself that you usually pay someone else to do. Feel the connection to the physical world again. Ask yourself which of your expenses are actually for you. And ask yourself which ones are for the neighbors. The door to the cage is actually unlocked, but you are the only one who can choose to walk out. It might mean moving to a smaller house or driving an older car. It might mean being the only person in your circle without the newest gadget. But the reward is something money cannot buy in a showroom. The reward is peace of mind. The reward is the end of the midnight panic. We often think that being rich is about having more things. In reality, being wealthy is about having more choices. The more you spend on status, the fewer choices you have. The more you save, the more power you have over your own life. Do not let your promotion become your prison. Do not let your success become your stress. As we move into a new economic era, the old rules no longer apply. A high salary is no longer a shield against financial struggle. It can often be a trap that blinds you to the truth. Only a disciplined mind and a humble ego can provide true security. You have worked too hard to be this stressed about money. It is time to take your life back from the golden cage. Reclaim your freedom by lowering your baseline. Build a life that you do not need to escape from. If your income disappeared tomorrow, how many months of your identity could you actually afford? Please share your thoughts and your number in the comments below. Being honest with ourselves is the very first step toward real freedom. If you found this insight helpful, you should watch our next video. We will teach you exactly how to cut costs without losing your professional edge. Thank you for listening. Your future self will thank you for the choices you make today. Remember that wealth is what you do not see. It is the freedom you feel every single day.